was off or whatever. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bangers, Bombs, and Banter. This is the number 65 one. Wait, no. Is it?
We're so close to 69.
No, it's number 66. We're even closer. We gotta stop doing the podcast now. So we can time it so that number 69 happens on Valentine's Day.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to another episode. I'm your host, Joe. I'm here with my co-host, Brendan.
I'm the co-host, Brandon.
Yeah. Excuse me, you're welcome. I guess we'll get into the news. Or wait, I gotta say what we're doing. So this episode,
we have a fun show, cool show coming for you tonight. It's coming towards you.
We got some music and movie news, some stories. Then we have a question of the week that we're gonna answer, and then we have the album, which is Long Live by the Chariot. And then we're talking about Nosferatu, the famous SpongeBob villain.
Yes.
Yeah, and let's get into it. So first in music news, the Interpol and David Lynch are releasing a previous project as an NFT, I believe.
Yep. It's like a re-release. It's weird.
Yeah. Who doesn't love their NFTs?
Me.
I love
we at the Bop Stop hate NFTs.
One of the funniest things is seeing people who've bought NFTs on Twitter tell people to stop posting their NFTs. It's really funny.
That is really funny.
But yeah, NFTs suck.
They're really not. Like, crypto has value, and like I can understand that, but NFTs really don't. Like, they sort of have value, but also really don't. It's not. It's even more fiat than like cryptocurrency.
Yeah. All right. Next in music news. J Balvin, he took a music video down. He apologized for it because he got criticism over the way over his portrayal of black women in the video, who were where's the fucking thing? There's they're portrayed as like dogs, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. He took it down. He apologized. Good on him.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just like it seems like just an accident. They weren't thinking about it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the music video so I can't really say if it's like egregious or not. So
I'm not really a J Balvin fan, so I haven't either.
Yeah. Yeah. And next, and then I guess lastly in music news. I just saw this and wanted to share, but there's a new Aesop Rock and Blockhead collaborative record coming out, which I'm excited for.
That's gonna be interesting.
It's called Garbology. It's out November 12th. Let's go.
Whoa, that's pretty soon.
Watch out, Peggy. I got a different album of the year coming. Anyway, on to movie news. We got two things of movie news. First, Brendan Fraser has been cast as Firefly in the Batgirl movie. Let's go.
Let's go. We love Brendan Fraser.
Oh, Brendan Fraser's a fantastic person.
Yeah, very cool dude. Good actor.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
And then we have the other piece of movie news, which is much bigger. It's the Alec Baldwin shot some people on accident on a movie set.
Yeah, this is like a whole mess, honestly.
Yeah.
Something that never should have happened, and a lot of things went wrong, and it did happen.
Yeah. In fact, several hours before the shooting happened, the part of the crew walked off set, or actually, I don't know if it's the entire crew. A lot of the crew walked off set because of safety conditions.
Yeah.
And then instead of, making the safety conditions better, they fucking just got people to replace them.
Yeah.
Oof.
Not a lot of bad happening, and really, yeah, like I said, it never should have happened. And yes, a lot of it is Alec Baldwin and other people's fault, but yes.
I don't know if it's necessarily Alec Baldwin's fault.
I mean, he was directing, right?
What? He's not the director.
No, he shot.
Yes, he shot the gun, but that's not his fault. He was like, the actor doesn't check if the gun is like loaded.
Well, I mean,
like,
it wasn't. They weren't rolling, right? He shouldn't have shot it.
No, I'm pretty sure they were rolling.
Because I thought there wasn't any footage of it.
I don't know if there necessarily was. They could have just been doing a test or something.
I suppose.
Or like framing the shot, doing practice runs or something. But yeah, I don't think it's his fault. He's probably just told to do that. And then did, thinking, it wasn't loaded, or something else happened, I guess, or some. I don't think we actually know if it's was loaded or not with live ammo or anything like that.
It was, apparently.
It was live ammo? Okay, cool,
yes,
wonderful.
It looks like he didn't know. As of right now, it seems that he didn't know it was live ammo.
Well, yeah, of course he fucking didn't know. It's supposed to all be blanks. If you're using live ammo on a film set, you're a fucking moron. It's outside of, like, very specific conditions.
I was like, come and see, though.
Yes, they were still kind of stupid the way they fucking shot that.
Yes, they were.
Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, pretty awful story. Yeah. But as with that, we'll move on to the question of the week. The question of the week this week was, what is your favorite song of all time and why?
Nobody answered.
Yeah, like, not very many people answered. I was really disappointed. I figured this would be a fucking easy one. Like, yeah. Everyone was just gonna say what their favorite song was. It's pretty, I don't know.
Wesley didn't even post Logic.
Goddamn. Anyway, Brandon, what is,
it depends, honestly. From, like, day to day, there's sometimes when you're in the vibe for one song or vibe for another song, But, what I usually tend to say is my favorite is Lost in the Supermarket by The Clash. Really love that track, and its commentary, its sound, its vibe. Very catchy, too. Yeah, I don't know. I really, really enjoy that track. It's definitely up there as one of my favorites.
Wow. Do you often get lost in the supermarket?
All the time. Supermarket's huge, There's like meats and cheeses and vegetables and soups and milk and bread and Oreos and bacon. I already said meats. Fuck.
Brendan, aren't you a vegetarian?
a bad one, I suppose.
Damn.
My roommates really like to eat meat, so.
Damn.
If I lived alone, yeah. Well, mostly vegetarian. I would still probably use like Worcestershire sauce.
Well, that's vegetarian. Wait, actually, is it not?
No, it's got anchovies in it.
Oh. Huh. Didn't know. Wow. Yeah. Well, for me, personally, fun fact of the episode, there are anchovies and Worcestershire sauce. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they get that good umami flavor.
Wow. All right. Well, you're pescatarian.
Yeah.
Almost.
I could be a pescatarian.
Anyway, for me, my favorite song of all time, it's hard because I kind of go back and forth between two. I've sort of already mentioned it before, but well, I mentioned it in the Sunbather deep dive, but Sunbather, the title track,
yep,
is one of my favorites of all time. It's just like, I don't know, it's such an insanely melancholic track. I really hope my mic is not picking up the washing machine that's going. But,
it's fine. If it does, it will come out in the noise reduction.
Yeah. But Sunbather is up there. It's incredibly like melancholic and beautiful. And I don't know. The track takes me to a place that I think no other track really does. And the other track that I often say is my favorite of all time is Let Down by Radiohead. It's
it's so underrated.
It's very underrated. But Let Down is just such a gorgeous track, and I think is one that, like, to me embodies just living in modern society.
Society. He said the society
I
word.
said society, but it's just like the most depressing. So depressing.
Fucking society.
I like a lot of. I feel like I gravitate towards a lot of music about alienation. Because both those tracks are kind of about that. But the only other track that I'd bring up is Everlong by the Foo Fighters, which is one of my favorite tracks for like a long time. For a long time, I said that was my favorite track until like a few years ago.
You got sadder a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I listened to Radiohead and now I'm depressed. So, yeah, but Everlong, fantastic track as well. We got a couple of responses.
Oh, I gotta do some like honorable mentions here.
Okay.
Honorable mention number 1, Long Season. I know it's like a 35-minute long song, but like, it's a good song. It's up there.
It's one of my favorite songs and albums of all time.
It really is. Like it's really, it's kind of really good, but also I feel like it's kind of cheating. I don't know. Another honorable mention is Sept by Sweet Trip. I'm a bit of a Sweet Trip stan. I'll have you know. So Sept is just like, it just puts me in like a different headspace. It's got that very dream pop forlorn kind of vibe to it, and I don't know, it's just like really, really beautiful. Beautiful. I really like it. And I guess like if I had to choose like a third honorable mention, I want to shout out I Don't Love by Have a Nice Life. Not really like a favorite track, but like it's really, really good, and I don't want to listen to it very often. But there are some times where I listen to it very often, and it's a bit concerning, I guess.
Yeah. Depresso.
A little bit.
A big depresso. Yeah. I guess with that, we'll talk about the 2 other responses we got to this.
Thank you, you two beautiful people.
Yeah, so Sebastian, who was on the previous podcast. Wait, was it the previous podcast episode?
I think it was. We've had an
no,
off
it was
schedule.
the episode before that.
Oh, okay.
But he said 13 Angels. This is a track by
Silver Mount Zion.
Yeah, Silver Mount Zion. The actual track name is 13 Angels Standing Round the Side of Your Bed.
Yep.
Or Standing Guard Round the Side of Your Bed.
Nice.
Really incredible track.
Very
just
good track.
Beautiful. Man.
Also kind of depressing, but...
Yeah. The entire album's really depressing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We also got Misery Business by Paramore from Richard. Let's go.
Let's go, Richard.
Let's go.
Based choice.
Incredible choice. And yeah, those are the only responses we got to that. As I said, I figured people would just jump all over this question.
You were wrong. We apparently are getting no involvement from our crowd.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's it for this question of the week. I need another one. Oh shoot!
You should have thought of this before.
I should. 1 second. I'm gonna be right back. I need my phone.
He has the list on his phone. So he's running and grabbing his phone. There he comes. There he goes. Where'd you
All right,
go?
I'm back.
What?
Let me get the questions up. I haven't thought of one in a while. Let's see if I have some.
Excuse me.
I think 1 sec. I'm sorry. I think I was moving my microphone cord around and that was fucking up the audio. I apologize for that if that's the case. As far as questions, do we want how about how about this? This is a good one. What's your favorite bar of all time?
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one for next week.
Yeah.
So, Logic, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind is really like a stream of consciousness, right? So the entire album is really just one bar.
So where does the bipolar Kanye bar fit into that entire bar?
Sub bar, and it's one of the better bars in Confessions of a Dangerous Mind because it's really showing how Logic's very dangerous mind is, in fact, confessing.
Are you saying he's like a serial killer or something? Like his mind is confessing.
Yes, because they are confessions of a dangerous mind.
How dangerous?
I don't know. Dangerous enough to make that album, apparently.
Okay. Anyway, that's the question for next week. What's your favorite bar of all time? And with that, we'll move on to the next thing, which is the album.
It is.
Oh, so this week, I chose.
This album's it's kind of a come down album. Really makes you tired.
Yeah, this album is very calm and quiet.
Yeah. I really appreciate its like connections to like ambient music. I think that its inspirations of like Brian Eno and stuff really shine through.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe a bit of like Tim Hecker influence on there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 1 part Disintegration Loops, 1 part 1 part Everywhere at the End of Time. You know what I mean?
Yep. that album that came out after this album. Yeah, it really took inspiration from that album. Definitely.
But yeah, so Long Live by the Chariot is a metalcore record, I'd consider it. I'd say it's metalcore. Metalcore, hardcore, mathcore a little bit. This is probably one of their least mathy records.
Was it like Power Violence too?
I don't know. It's not really Power Violence.
It's not. I feel like there are some tracks that get into it more than others, though.
I wouldn't consider it Power Violence. To me is very like. Has a lot more like death metal influence than this does.
That's fair.
But yeah. So Long Live, it's their fourth studio album. It was released in 2010, and it is very aggressive, fun metalcore record, I find.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. I think it's pretty fun. There's a lot of tracks here. They get pretty intense, pretty fun with it. Yeah. It's very loud. We were lying earlier when we said it was ambient. We're liars.
No, it's still an ambient record.
I think it comes out of the gate like pretty strong, honestly.
Yeah.
But then there are some things it starts like for me trip up on kind of fast. Cause like the Calvin McKenzie, there's like the samples on that track. They weirdly break up the flow, I think.
I really like them. I think it's very like weird and out of place, but it kind of works for me. It's just like, I don't know. It just adds this weird atmosphere to a lot of the tracks. With the samples they use occasionally. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't know, cause like, what I want out of a record like this is just one after another. Like it just keeps going. Yeah, it's fucking going, right? And because of those things, it just like takes you out of it for a second, I find.
Yeah, that's kind of what I like about it. A lot of the tracks on this record to me like throw you off from what you would typically expect in the genre. Like you have David De La Hoz, which breaks into this like weird manic like spoken word section, essentially.
Okay, I do like that part though.
Or you have like The Heavens, which has like reversed guitar on it. Like I don't know how to describe. I don't actually know if it's reversed. It just sounds like it's reversed. Like they just play it backwards. I don't know. I think these parts of the record, it gives it a lot of personality.
I definitely agree that it gives it a lot of personality. Like this is a pretty unique record, which is good because a lot of stuff that kind of sounds like this can definitely just sound like everything else that already exists.
Yeah.
And they don't fall into that kind of trap, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think the last like 4 songs are definitely the strongest part of the record.
I would agree.
They just definitely like just kind of ramp it up at the end. David De La Hoz, who mentioned, has like the weird manic vocal part. But then it breaks way into just like this insanely intense breakdown at the end. It just works. Oh, it's so good. And you also have at the very end, it's like very that's where the ambient influence is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this like nice Very interesting piano at the end, with like the almost choral vocals on it.
Mm-hmm.
That are just it's a really calm part of the record.
Yeah.
I think all the Heavens, as I mentioned, it has like reversed guitar in it. That's like it's just really weird and cool to listen to. Robert Roy's, I think that's how you pronounce that.
I don't know.
Roy, I don't. However, the track 9.
Yeah, track 9. I love track 9.
Yeah, the track it kind of just goes. It's just super intense and fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the King is like a really fantastic end to the record.
Yeah. It's it has a lot more life in it than like any other song on this record. I mean, going for like almost 6 minutes, whereas most songs are like 2 minutes long.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the first part of the record I still enjoy quite a bit. Evan Perks I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Great opener. And a lot of the other tracks on the first half I think are like very good. It's just not as memorable as those last 4, I find.
Yeah. I find like the first like half of this album to be kind of inconsistent. Is really my biggest issue with it. There are definitely like some really good tracks. Like I said, first track Evan Perks. I think I really also like The Audience. But
yeah.
after that, like Calvin McKenzie, Weird Sample. The City I think starts out really good, and then if they had like cut the song in like 2 minutes ish, I think I would have really enjoyed it. But it kind of keeps going, and it ends with these like weird, powerful like choral vocals, which again I'm not really a fan of. I think that like doesn't really fit. Like again, they're mixing it up, and I can appreciate that, but that's not how I would want that track to end. You know?
Yeah.
Just kind of odd choices. Like respect the choices, not for me though.
I would it feels like you'd probably really like their is this their follow-up record? I think it's their 6th and final record, One Wing. You'd probably enjoyed that quite a bit. Oh no, it's their 5th record.
We'll check
you
it
might
out.
like One Wing more. But yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't know. Got any?
How'd you come across the Chariot, Joe?
They're kind of just in the suggested, or like fans also like sections of a lot of other bands I listen to. I just kind of found them through osmosis, I guess.
Gotcha.
Um,
Why'd you choose this record?
I was listening to it and I was in the mood for something intense.
Yeah, okay.
At the time, so yeah,
it works.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Also, Andy Sundwall has some really good riffs on it. The da-da-da-da, you know?
Da-da-da-da?
Yeah.
The da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da. Sorry. A little sick right now.
Brendan is a little sick. Just a wee bit.
Fuck, dude. Just having a coughing fit. Don't mind me. It's always the worst. Like, I've been having this cough for, like, it's been, like, 2 weeks now. And it's always, like, right when I try and go to bed. That's when it decides to act up for no fucking reason. I hate it.
Let's go. Perfect.
So I just sit
there. The spell is
lying,
working.
I lie in bed for, like, an hour just fucking coughing. It's awful. And it's like, I don't cough, like, all day.
Have you taken, like, NyQuil or something?
Nah, fuck that, man.
Brendan doesn't want to do drugs.
NyQuil's expensive.
That's also probably a good reason.
And it's not like it like hurts or anything. I just like it's just kind of annoying, you know. Anyways, yeah. I was honestly kind of confused. I was like wondering if this album was like a live album because it's got live in the title, and also like the album cover looks like what a live album cover would be. But it's not. It's not a live album.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Ratings,
Yeah.
I guess.
Sure. Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Brandon, what do you
Yes.
think?
I'll
What's your
go
rating?
first. This album it's pretty solid. It's got a lot of good tracks. There are some inconsistencies I find with it, but overall, definitely pretty enjoyable. If you're looking for something pretty intense, something that's honestly pretty unique as well, definitely check it out. I'm at like a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. I personally am at like an 8 out of 10. It's just a really fun, intense, blood pumping metalcore record.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess with that, we'll move on to the movie.
Nosferatu. It came out.
He's flickering the lights.
Oh shit! What? I don't even know what that. It's like a reference.
Have you ever
to.
seen that SpongeBob episode?
I didn't watch SpongeBob.
Oh my god! There's literally the SpongeBob episode where they're in the Krusty Krab and they're terrified of the hash slinging slasher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it turns out at the end of the episode, there's some guy who wants to apply for a job. But then they're like, "Hey, wait, who was flickering the lights then?" And it turns out it was Nosferatu.
Interesting. I watching like literally the top comment on Letterboxd is I only watch this to understand the SpongeBob reference. So. Yeah. Okay. So Nosferatu, 1922, directed by F.W. Murnau. I don't know. It's like German. So.
Murnau. I think it's Murnau.
Okay. This is I chose this movie because I don't know, it's like a classic vampire film. It's like a very early film too. I was doing this. Want to check it out. I also watching this film made me want to check out the 1931 Dracula film, which is also an adaptation of Dracula, but.
You should you should watch the film Vampire, because it's I forget where it was made, but that's like, I think Vampire is far better than Nosferatu, in terms of like effects and atmosphere. Genuinely, like Nosferatu is just like it's a horror movie from 1922 and it wasn't scary at all.
Well, I'm sure in 1922 it was a different.
It probably was, but Vampire is like there's genuinely moments that were like creepy and like unsettling in that movie. Whereas Nosferatu is like, it's entertaining to watch it and like see, the old effects and like what they do with it, but it's not scary at all.
No, this I just want to say like a couple things about the movie. So it's a silent film, came out in 1922. Like, their use of dialogue throughout the film, I think, is very interesting. They don't really do the like show don't. There's sometimes where they do like the show don't tell stuff like well, and other times where they don't, like, at all.
They do kind of. There's points where they like bring up stuff again that the audience already knows.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like it's not like the movie's long.
No. But there's definitely like some weird choices made with that. I think I would say like the music throughout is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the music. It was like it added to the vibe. It wasn't really taking away from it at all. Um, I was Joe. Have you read Dracula?
No, is there a Dracula book?
Yeah, Bram Stoker's
like-
Dracula.
Oh, okay. Whenever I heard Bram Stoker's Dracula, my thought was like that was the guy who made the original Dracula movie for whatever reason.
No, no. Dracula is what, like an 1891 novel by Bram Stoker? 1897. Damn.
Is
Was a
this
couple years
based off of it?
Yes, this is so one thing watching this film, I was surprised just how faithful it was to the book. For at least so it's kind of weird because this is like the first it up to the point where like Dracula lands in port and up to that point it's like pretty much almost the exact same as the book. There are even like small details that are from the book that don't really make that much sense in the film. Like when the girl is like she's waiting by the sea for her lover to come back, right? And she's like sitting there in a graveyard. Like that's straight out of the book. And that comes back like later in the book and it doesn't really make that much sense in the film. I guess it like adds to the atmosphere, but it's just like interesting how some things are done. But and then once Dracula lands in port, like the stuff with all like the plague and like the lockdown, I gotta say, great pandemic response by that town, really showing us up 100 years earlier. But all that stuff, all like the plague stuff, that never happens in the book, really. So because like the book, there's a whole bunch more stuff that like happens, like the girl that would have been what's the dude? So Hutter's friend's wife, Ruth.
Hutter's friend's wife. Oh wait,
Ruth is her name in the film.
I don't remember. Is that the character, the girl who like is with them? Or
Yeah.
She's like she lives in like the same house ish.
Or no,
Is the
it's
other
his
two?
sister. Yeah, Hutter's friend's sister. Because
Okay.
Hutter leaves his wife with his friend and his friend's sister, right?
Yeah.
So like in the book, Ruth would get turned into like a vampire, and then they would go and kill Ruth, and then they would eventually go and kill Dracula and whatnot. But they kind of cut it short, which is like it's very weird because I feel like the ending of this film is just very anticlimactic.
It's very quick.
Yeah,
You
it's
expect there to be something more when he reaches port or the town,
Yeah.
and then just kind of not.
It's so I don't know, because like a lot of the film is like a really good build up to something terrible happening, and then he just Dracula just kind of dies because he gets hit by sunlight. And like nobody, like, yes, people are like, we get shown the like that the city is like dying because he's killing everybody. I'm gonna keep calling him Dracula instead of Count Orlok or Graf
Nosferatu.
Orlok or Nosferatu or whatever, just because he's very much just Dracula.
It's interesting. He's Dracula, but because of the 1931 Dracula, it's not what you think of
Yes.
at all. He's I will say the makeup on Mr. Nosferatu is like really good
Yes.
and like genuinely pretty creepy.
Like it's still a very iconic look that was
Yeah.
created from this film.
Yeah.
And no, yeah, I definitely think that is a reason to watch this film, is just to sort of see the portrayal of this character. I think a lot of the elements of the film, if it's honestly, it's not that great of a film. It is entertaining, but I think one thing that they nailed was how Dracula looks, or Graf Orlok. Max Schreck being the actor.
Shrek.
Yes. I mean, like, honestly, like 1931, Bela Lugosi's portrayal of Dracula is fucking like iconic. Don't get me wrong, but Max Schreck's portrayal of the character here is also iconic in a very different way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I still want to say like this film has a lot of shortcomings. Don't get me wrong, but I still overall like it's pretty enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
enjoyed it. I do think it's like a bit boring at points, admittedly.
Definitely. Yeah.
I don't know, it is interesting watching a lot of old movies, and a lot of the time, like, their pacing is so much different from a lot of modern movies that it's hard to watch through them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know.
No, yeah.
I think their location scouting was like spot on.
Oh yeah.
The castle's really fantastic.
I don't know if they actually made like they went to a castle maybe in I guess Transylvania. But they certainly like it was all very believable, and like even the like the port town looked really good.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was probably like an actual town.
Yeah.
But there's also like an interesting thing that because they translate it's like a German port town instead of in the original novel it's English because Bram Stoker was a good British boy who is definitely not racist or anything like that. I mean, they literally call like Transylvania the land of beggars and thieves in the film, right? Yeah, we're not gonna delve into that.
It's the guess what race of people the vampire represents. It's you, Brendan.
That's actually yeah.
Yeah.
Is
that is like one of the things about old vampire movies is that it's kind of the vampires are kind of Jews.
Jews are like gypsies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I think from the small details I know about the movie that we have next week, like black people. Or wait. I might have that backwards. I might have whatever. I'll see you in the movie next week. I know we'll be dealing with I think vampires and racism next week, so
vampires and racism. Okay, well, I don't know. I'm trying to think of vampire movies with black people in it now.
I believe that movie has a vampire in it. I'm pretty sure. I gotta
believe it does.
I'm like almost positive I know what this movie is about, and I'm really worried that I don't know what this movie is about. Okay, yes. Literally one of the alternative titles is Black Vampire, so.
Black Vampire? Fuck, what movie is this?
You'll see.
I've heard that title before, I just don't know what it corresponds to. Anyway, yeah.
Anyways, yeah. This movie, Nosferatu. That's all we're gonna say about racism for now. Yeah, I also like obviously Nosferatu looks really good, but I also think what they fucking name Renfield, Knock looks also like very fitting for the role.
Wait, who's Knock?
He's the guy that like goes crazy.
Oh, yeah. He's
kind of like a minion role in this film.
Oh, he's the main character's boss, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's a minion.
He is. He's a minion.
Ooh, banana.
Joe, I'm firing you from this podcast.
Oh no! Well, he's a minion. That's what they do. But yeah, he definitely fits the part. It's like a bit obvious that he's like a bad guy because of the way he looks. It's very exaggerated.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. It was like silent films. You kind of have to exaggerate those things, though.
Yeah. Oh, I need to say the main character. I don't remember his name.
Hutter.
Is it Hutter?
Hutter.
He has fucking drip.
Yeah. Yeah.
His style, his like coat and like little suit he has on is fucking sick.
He looks pretty good.
There's also I think there's also a lot of like just iconic images from this movie. There's the one of Nosferatu that's on the boat.
On the boat, I think, is the most iconic image.
It's like that, or him as he's about to be like killed from the sunlight.
The sun. Yeah,
he's like holding his heart. But yeah.
Very cool. I honestly I really like the entire boat sequence. I think is really well done.
Yes, boat sequence is probably my favorite in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because in the actual book Dracula, that's like a page, like it's not fleshed out like at all. But here it's done, I think, actually really well. But yeah, it's very cool, and you just kind of like see how he is just absolutely fucking killing people on this boat. Now it's like they have no power over this kind of otherworldly terror. Very cool, very very much well done. I can't imagine how people in 1922 reacted to that. I guess. I mean, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
It's where people who look weird aren't scary anymore. They're just people. They're just people.
Imagine showing people from 1922 Minions.
Oh shit, they would be fucking terrified, bro.
Bananas.
Yo, imagine showing people from 1922 like fucking like Primer or some shit. I would kind of want to.
I want to see people's reaction to like Avengers.
Oh.
Just like, what the fuck would they think?
All these
it's
men
so far removed from them.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. Now I really want to actually show them Solo. I think they would love Solo.
Perfect. I feel like The Shining would also be like a really interesting one. Because that would just be like, I want to show them like really like out there horror films.
I mean, even like Alien would probably.
Alien would be really weird or hard for them. I mean, I guess there's already like some sci-fi. Space stuff.
Yeah, sci-fi existed, but I feel like just the visuals in Alien are.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can get into better body horror than that. Show them like a David Cronenberg film or something like that. See what happens.
I think just in terms of like how scary something like Alien is, that would be like
No, yeah,
really hard for them to take.
Yeah. I mean, like as a kid, I feel like Alien was already like too much. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we should get into scores.
That sounds good. Yeah, I like this one. I think it's, if you're like into horror and you want to sort of know where some of these iconic images come from, I think it's worth a watch. If you don't really care, you're not missing out. Overall I'm at like a 6. I still think it's good. It's solid. Never really gonna need to see it again though.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree. It's a very interesting film. There's a lot of like film history to learn from this. but it's I don't know. There's definitely quite a few points where it kind of drags for me. I'd give it like a 6 as well. It's a enjoyable movie, not incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Worth a watch though.
Yeah. All right, that's about it. For next week, our question of the week is...
It's what's your favorite bar of all time?
What's your favorite bar? So there's this really cute bar down the street from me, actually.
Do you go there?
No.
Coward.
Why would I go to a bar?
Why not?
I don't know. Anyways. I need to get the full name of this album. So next week, the album we are going to be reviewing is I Lie Here Buried with My Rings and My Dresses by Backwash. And the movie is going to be Ganja and Hess, directed by Bill Gunn.
Ganja and Hess?
Ganja and Hess.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be an interesting week.
Yeah, it will be. All right. I guess with that, I guess that's it for this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Yeah.